Good evening and welcome to Rolling Into Summer with Bill Brady. I'd like to thank you for your support and your generous participation in tonight's event. I'm Vicki Briggs, Director of Beacon of Hope Community Services. We are so grateful to Bill Brady for partnering with us on this fun event. Bill's not only a brilliant chef, he's also just a terrific guy. I'd like to say thank you to all of you who donated auction items and placed bids, to Fitchburg State University for their technical support, to Dawn Aker Ayala of Finicky Fork for her table design tonight, and to Laura Huey for her gift of mixology. And to Dean Mazzarella for manning our chat room tonight. So, thank you. Awesome. So for those of you who don't know how to do the chat room, you need a YouTube account, which is easy to do. You can do it right now. So create a YouTube account, log in, and once you do that, you'll see at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen a box that says Create a Channel. So just click it, it'll walk you through the simple steps, and you're good to go. So if you have any questions for any one of our presenters tonight or any comments to make, just type them in, send them, and Dean will relay them to our group. For those of you who won auctions, we will be getting in touch with you tomorrow to let you know what you won and to set up distribution. So we have a 50-50 that is going on as well, and we will draw the numbers right now. It's up to $790. So good luck, guys. Just gonna go get the tickets. Oh, I shouldn't. Yeah. Can you bring them over here? All right.
And the winner is.
All right, Dean, you pick it. You pick it.
If I pick somebody from Quincy, they'll be mad at me. Somebody else. Dawn, come over here and pick it. So is this one winner?
One winner, $790. Yes.
Cash?
Sure.
All right. Dawn, don't make sure you pick somebody local. Not from, like, Sydney, Australia or something.
Maureen Johnson. Congratulations, Reenie. She's one of our volunteers. Yes. Amazing. Okay. And before we start, I do want to wish a special lady, Pam DeCicero, a very happy birthday today. Yes. Now, she is. Now we'll turn it over to Laura Huey, and she's going to mix up a couple of cocktails. Enjoy.
Can we just tell people who might be watching on Facebook how to log on? Because is there a way to tell people how to log on right now?
Well, everybody should have received a link to go to a...
Is it too late for them to get on?
Yes, unfortunately. They can make a donation, and this will be available as a recording after tonight.
So you can still make a donation.
Exactly. Right. Thank you.
We are going to... You're teasing everybody. So tonight we're going to start with our summer strawberry Cadillac margarita. For those of you who purchased tickets, you have a recipe to follow along with me if you bought the ingredients. If you wanted to save the recipe for the next time, this is a perfect little showstopper drink for your friends when you have a family dinner or your friends come over. So you're going to start with muddling 2 strawberries in the bottom of your glass. Once you get those all broken down, you're going to add some ice. And we have a jigger, and we're going to measure out 3 ounces of Reposado tequila. Now, if you're ever at the bar and you're wondering what the difference is between Reposado and Añejo tequila, it's how long the tequila has been aged. So Reposado has been aged 60 to 364 days, and an añejo has been aged over a year. Then I'm going to add a ½ ounce of triple sec, a ½ ounce of Grand Marnier, which is orange liqueur aged in a cognac bottle, and then we're going to top that with sour mix. You can store-buy sour mix, or you can make your own. I like to use lime juice, lemon juice, a little bit of pineapple juice, and orange juice. And what you're going to do is you're going to shake your cocktail, and then top it with a nice little lime. So that is your summer strawberry Cadillac margarita. Drop it off to these ladies over here. The next cocktail we're going to make is our White Zin Peach Sangria. So ideally you would make this ahead of time in a big batch and let it kind of marinate and all the flavors meld together, but I'm going to make it by the glass for you tonight. So we're going to start with about 4 ounces of white Zinfandel, and you can use any type of white wine you'd like. You can also even use red wine if you prefer. And then I'm going to use about 1 ounce of peach tree schnapps. And then we have about 1 ounce of cranberry juice, 1 ounce of orange juice, shake this all together as well. Pour right into a wine glass. Add a little bit more ice. We'll add some nice summer fruit to it, and you can add fresh peaches if you'd like. You can put strawberries. You can add any fruit you'd like. You can change up the sangria as much as you want, and it's a great summer drink. Drop this off. There we go. So those are your summer cocktails, and now I'm going to turn it over to the one and only Bill Brady.
Thanks, Laura.
You're welcome.
Dean, I don't think I've ever heard you this quiet. Oh, yeah. Good morning. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Beacon of Hope, just a little background. Years ago, I was approached by the Beacon of Hope, and I did some catering, and that proceeded into about a 16 or 17 year span. Luckily, they've been able to move over to a larger venue and make a lot more money, but it's a near and dear to my heart. And Vicki, to be complimented, you really brought it to the next level. Anyway, cooking, grilling, summer. I know, I can't grill inside. I got that. But through the magic of TV, I'm gonna make this all work. So I'm gonna first start out with a stuffed pepperdew pepper. Pepperdew peppers, it's actually a brand name available all the grocery stores, okay? They're sweet, they're hot, it's a nice mix. And I take them and I'm gonna stuff them with some Italian sausage. So, I'm gonna do this Italian sausage. I like to make my own, but locally, Paisano's still makes the famous Chet sausage. I always like to grab half hot, half sweet, mix it together. It makes for a nice medium blend. So, if you don't want tiny pepperdew peppers, you can always get the mother of creation, the hot cherry peppers. And these are hot. So, forewarned. Anyway, so if we just take the little capsule out, I'm going to take a couple of these. Just make a little hole in them. Take some of your sausage. This is fun. This is a lot of nice work. The kids would love doing this. Keep them busy. I figure one person could eat probably 6 of these as an appetizer portion. Unless you get some people that can eat 60 of them. So you just stuff them, keep going. Then all I do is I skewer them. Put them on a soaked bamboo skewer. Nice part about this, you can do this like the day before. Put them in about a 350-degree oven for about 15 minutes just to set up the sausage. And then you take these and put them on your outside grill. You know, put them around and let's see here. So then they, look at that, I ran outside and grilled these already. You didn't even see me leave, did you? So nice char effect. This, I took a couple of the hot cherries and you can tell that's a little larger. So that's a great, easy first course. You're gonna like these, ladies. We just warm them up for them. Warm them up for them. How's that? So far, so good? Pretty easy, right? It's not going to be complicated. Well, that one's not. This one's a little more work. Anyone who bid on it, you probably have the recipe packet. I use recipes as a guide, so don't hold me to everything. If you like a little more pepper, put a little more pepper in, a little more salt, a little more salt. Be creative and have fun. That's what we're always about cooking. So the boneless short ribs. Okay, I'm using a sirloin flap meat. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna score it. Then a little old technique, we're gonna actually sugar the meat. And the sugar is gonna act as a tenderizer and a flavor enhancer. So, let's see here. So I have my sirloin flap. A little touch of that. Okay, and you'll notice the grain runs straight down, okay? Like when you can pull it over. When you're carving meat, always cut against the grain, never with it. So on the first side, just take your knife and you're gonna cut not quite all the way through. Just nice and easy. It helps to have a sharp knife. Dull knives are actually a lot more dangerous because you have to exert a lot more force and you can slip a little bit. So invest in a good knife. So I'm just going to draw that straight apart. Notice I'm going not quite all the way through. So I'm going to move this here and cut little diamonds. It'll impress all your friends, let me tell you. So we're not going to mechanically tenderize this so much as between the sugar and the other spices. Flip it over, and what you want to do is just kind of go the other way with it, not going all the way through. Be careful of not going all the way through. So just dry your knife right through it. I like this. It's kind of one way, right? You're loving this, aren't you, out there? Straight down, again, not quite. You don't want to turn this into the accordion. So, we have our meat in diamond cut. Now all we're going to do, literally, this is granulated sugar. You're just going to coat it. Coat it, coat it, coat it. Little known fact that I couldn't believe, but it's actually true, is Civil War, they actually packed wounds in sugar because they didn't have the hydrogen peroxide and things like that, and it kept infections out. So it does.
Kim wants to know when you say you're cutting against the grain, what's that mean?
Okay, I'm glad she asked. Let me get this, see if I get it. All right, So let me just finish with that, and I'll actually demonstrate to her what that is. So you just sugar that, put it to a side. This you want to rest at least 2 hours, if not longer. So I have one in here that's been sitting. So to answer Kim's question, I don't know how close we're going to be able to get here, okay? You see the meat, there's a grain on it. See how it kind of runs straight down? If you try to pull it apart, it's straight down, right? So when I go to carve this after it's cooked, I'm going to go against that grain, because if you cut with the grain, it's stringy. If you ever cut corned beef wrong, you know you couldn't chew through it, that's when you're usually with the grain instead of against it. I hope that answered her question. So, sugared meat, just let that hang out. Now the fun part. We're gonna do a marinade. This you could do a day before, a day and a half before. You don't want to let it sit in the marinade for too long. It can over marinate. Okay. So the ingredients I have here. Well, that's what I wanted to do. You're gonna love this, Dino. Your favorite evil bulb, garlic. Okay. Anyone ever peel garlic? It's usually a tedious job. Well, let me show you the easy way, and this way you can really get your frustrations out. Okay? Break it apart. Take the stem end. Dean, you're gonna like this. You're gonna be doing this at home. Okay, separate all the cloves, and then who really wants to go through peeling each individual clove? Got a trick for you. 2 bowls. 2 bowls, and then need to make a lot of noise. So we're just going to put these cloves right in here, cover it, right? Seems wacky, doesn't it? And there's your peeled garlic. Oh, come on. Come on, you're impressed, I can tell. So, anyway. Garlic. Ginger. So the easiest way I find, ear of ginger, for obvious reasons they call it that. If you just separate it, this keeps for months, by the way. Instead of taking your vegetable peeler, if you use just the back of a spoon, it comes right off. Really easy. Some people don't even take it off. I like the nice clean look. So you peel the ginger down, get what you need, voila. So the marinade. I know you all have Vitamixes at home. Regular blender would be fine, food processor will work. It's just a lot easier than getting out your mortar and pestle. Right, everyone has one of those? No, I can't blame you. So what we're gonna do, soy sauce. I'm using a gluten-free soy sauce just because there's a lot of dietary need out there. So anytime I can eliminate wheat flour, I will. Use rice flour or whatever. It's just easier in the restaurant to accommodate everyone, and the flavor is really not any different. So, some soy sauce in there. Anytime you're doing anything with an Asian profile, there's a few things you can't miss on. If you do soy sauce, brown sugar, ginger, garlic, and scallions, you got a base for everything. So, soy sauce, rice wine vinegar, some brown sugar, with some black pepper, some cayenne pepper. You could also use gochujang, which is a Korean pepper, any type of spice you like. Of course, a couple garlic. Pureed ginger. Oh, I like ginger. Some scallions. And some sesame seeds. Some black and white. And that's about it. So this marinade you can make up to a week in advance, and you just puree it just so smooth. Okay, nice and dark there. And then what you do is take the meat that's been sugared, and what you can do is just pour that right over there, right? Make sure you flip it around, get in there. That's as it sits and marinates and gets that beautiful flavor. What you're gonna end up with a day later is a beautifully marinated piece of sirloin flap. So, this is what you would take out, place it right on your grill. I'd like to preheat the grill, I'd say at least a good 10 minutes. You want to get it really hot. Make sure that you know you have searing capabilities. Because of the sugar in this is going to develop a nice bark on the outside. Okay, but you want to watch it because it can flare up and it might get a little darker than you'd like it. So, grill that to your liking. I like to serve this medium rare to medium. It is that tender that you can do that. So, now I just ran outside. You saw me do that, right? And what we're going to come out with is this beautiful, oh, it's still hot. All right. So far, so good. Everyone. All right, so now what was I talking about with the grain against the grain? This one's gonna probably make it, you can see how it's straight across. When I go to carve this, what I'm gonna do is go against, let me do a couple, just so you can see what I'm talking about. With the grain, see how I can pull that apart? And this one is against the grain. It's not so easy to pull apart, so. And you can correct it as you go. Again, I wish I had smell-o-vision. This smells incredible.
Billy, chefs always use those terms, medium rare. What's that mean? Like, how do you know when it's medium rare or
okay.
medium?
Well, a couple different ways what you can
trick?
do. There is. The easiest trick is to buy a meat thermometer, an Insta-Read thermometer. Okay, so if you like it rare, about 125 degrees, right? Medium rare, you're into the 130. Medium, 135. And that. If you like it medium well, which means slightly pink, you know, you're probably at the 140, 150. So these are very forgiving. So, like what we like to do here at the restaurant, and you'll see is I have a miso aioli. Miso is a fermented bean paste, okay? A little goes a long way. It's very salty. It has a great flavor, but it is salty. You got to be careful, okay? So, miso comes in a couple different things. This happens to be a red miso, okay? Soybean paste, fermented, salted. You add that with some mayonnaise, right? And it comes all together. Do that a day before or so. And then we use a squirt bottle. You probably don't need that. If you just have a Ziploc bag, you can pour it in there, snip the end off, and you'll make those nice little designs. So there is our short ribs. Right on time, too, I think. We just have to heat them up in. All right, how much time do I have?
People at home want to know if I get to try it after.
Yes. The answer is yes. What's the question? All right, so there's our short ribs. Let's go with kebabs. Everyone's done kebabs, I'm sure, at some point or other, okay? Just a couple tricks with them. So, a couple tricks onto the kebab making is your bamboo skewers. You want to soak them in water overnight. Okay, this will prevent them from flaming up and burning on the grill. So I did some beef. And just some vegetables, okay? The vegetables are nice if you put them in a light vinaigrette to grill them off. And it's just a matter of skewering at that point. Use of onions. The white onions I used are a sweet onion. I like that with the beef. Okay, with the vegetable, the red onions gives it a little more of a bite and flavor. So don't be afraid to mix up your onions. So the meat, we just use some sirloin tip, right? We're just going to skewer that through a piece of pepper, right? And this, everyone has done this before at home, I'm sure, right? What you want to do, just get creative. Season it well. So there's our beef skewer. When you're cooking them, now a little trick, if they're too tight, separate it so the beef can actually get its own heat, right? So you want to, and the vegetable, again, just use a smaller skewer, soaked in water, right? Just a matter of alternating colors with these. So on the vegetables, what I like to do is actually put them on the second tier of your grill and
Bill, you
slow
want to
cook
know
them.
how to stop crying when you cut an onion.
Cutting onions. No, I can't do that. While I was teaching vocational high school, I used to say to the students if they put a piece of bread in their mouth and stood on one foot as they were chopping, they wouldn't cry. The colder your onions are, the less chance it's going to splash up in your eye. So if you refrigerate the onion, that'll help out a little bit. Using a sweeter onion. And obviously a sharp knife. Once you get into a dull knife, you're really kind of destroying. You're not cutting through the membrane, so you're releasing more of the juices, and that's what makes you cry. So I have a beef, and we did a chicken one. I marinate the meat, toss it in whatever seasoning you like to do. Some people use a vinaigrette or, Italian dressing. All good ideas. Just letting the meat sit in the marinade is important. Just don't open the package, put it on a skewer, toss a little salt and pepper. You're just not going to get the depth of flavor. Brought out, miracle of television, nice and grilled. Right? Makes a nice presentation. You have all vegetable, chicken and beef. Swordfish chunks are nice. With that, any firm flesh. You could do shrimp scallops. Heating some up and bringing them out. Yeah. All right. So I did the kebabs quick because I think everyone's done them. Aha. Okay. I think, yeah, you know what? Let's go into the grilled corn on the cob. I did say that, grilled corn on the cob. It's true. Easy, easy, easy. Morning of your event, night before, take your corn. If you have a cooler, beer cooler that's empty, put the corn in there, let it soak in water, right? You just want to let it soak. I would say a minimum of 3 hours, okay? Because if not, what you're going to do is you're going to char the outside before it steams the inside. Now, everyone says, well, what about the silk? If you remember your earth science, this silk, every individual one goes to each individual ear of corn. So that's where they get their nutrients in the water and things like that. So if you ever get a really ugly piece of corn that looks like it needs braces, chances are no silk got down there. So this is soaked. Your grill's on outside. Take this, put it directly onto the flames, right? You can put a whole bunch of them, single layer. Go about 4-5 minutes and then just roll them till you get a really nice color. 4 or 5 minutes aside. If you just feel the corn, okay, you're gonna feel it give a little bit, it's done. So then what do you do with it? Well, you are grilling, right? Everyone has a cooler, and depending on how many you cool, take your corn off the grill, pop it into the cooler. It didn't come with instructions, so, right? So this is just all the grilled corn, nice and soft. So you can have all this done. Put the lid on it. It's going to stay hot for at least an hour or two. Okay, so it's a nice little trick. You don't have to rush around and try to time everything. Outside, people trying to time things, that's usually when you stress yourself out. You don't have time to grab a glass of wine, enjoy your friends. So then, you thought that was it, right? No. How do you butter all that corn? Glad you asked. I got a trick.
Billy, people want to know how you butter the corn?
That's a good idea. Okay. You get a cylinder. And in this cylinder, I filled it up with hot water. Then on top of it, I took 1 stick of butter. You know how you have a big crowd with butter and you usually go through 2 pounds? It's just the butter will float on top of the hot water. So you go to serve the corn. I call this ice cream cone style. Take a couple napkins, just peel straight down. Okay. This is going to be hot. You might want to put some gloves on. My hands are kind of used to the heat, so you just keep pushing it down, right? Leave it, don't take it all the way off. Twist it. Got a nice little holder here. Put it right into your water. Look at that, perfectly buttered. And there you go, they can walk around with it. So. And they'll think you melted down a whole tub of butter. You didn't. People are getting away from butter. I know, sacrilege, but what I've come up with, and it was actually my sister's father-in-law had a heart condition and could no longer do butter, and he loved corn and butter and steamers and butter and lobster and butter, but he couldn't have it. So what he did was he came up rice wine vinegar and a little sweet chili sauce together along with some granulated sugar. You get a nice wash, right? And that way, if you put it in your corn or lobster, it really replaces the butter flavor. Gives it a little zip, but it's a real nice low-fat type idea. That was a side. You heard it here. So, I know, don't you love that? It's ready to go. So, easy one. Now I'm going to make it work a little bit harder. We're going to do a Caribbean jerk shrimp. So, let's get all our mise en place out. A little culinary term, it's a French term, just means everything you need in one space, okay? So you might hear the cooking shows and they'll say, get my mise. It's mise en place is the whole word, but we'll deal with that. So you'll notice on the recipe I said green headless shrimp. Well, the green part doesn't refer to a color, okay? It's when the shrimp come in, they're in their shell, and they're headless. That's called a green shrimp. Shrimp, by the way, sizes, it's very difficult because someone's jumbo or someone's colossal or someone's super large. It's all different sizes. Shrimp is sold by number. So what do I mean by that? Well, if you see 1620 shrimp, if you see 2125 shrimp, that means the number of shrimp per pound. So 1620, they're about an ounce a piece, so 16 ounces in a pound. If you see the ones that say U10, U12, that means it's under that per. So a U10 would be larger than a U12, right? Or U15. Hopefully I didn't totally confuse you on that one, but it's the numbers correlate with the size. The larger the number, the smaller the shrimp. So, shrimp in the shell. What you want to do is get all the shell off it. I like to leave the first segment on. It's just a matter of twisting it. These, and then you'll cut right down the middle, and you take out the sand vein. Okay, very important. You want to get that vein out of there. It just makes it a lot nicer to eat. So, I sped it up. I already did a few for you. Oh, what to do with these shells? Please, please, please don't shoot these shells away. If you saute them in a little butter, you strain it, you have a nice butter dip. Okay, they'll turn nice and pink. You can get a nice stock out of it and a lot of nice flavor. You're just going to shoot them away anyway, so why not use them? So I have my shrimp here. Caribbean jerk. Okay, I didn't call the Caribbean guy a jerk. It's jerk seasoning. It's just very spicy. In the Caribbean, Jamaica, every family has their own jerk recipe. Some are wet, some are dry. There's arguments on each side of which one's right. I'm not going to get in that argument. I'm not going to win it. So if you like something spicy, a lot of flavor, the Caribbean jerk would be for you. So, Caribbean jerk, I'm using a dry mix. There's all sorts of different spices in there, a lot of heat. I have some lime juice, some oil. Oh, lime juice, okay. Simple when it comes all done. How do you do it? Why would you want to do it? I like using fresh lime juice. I think it's a huge flavor difference over something else. Anytime you're juicing something, roll it out, push it. What you want to do is try to break up the membranes inside. Okay, it releases a lot more juice. A room temperature citrus will release more juice than a cold one. It'll be easier. So you just cut that in half. And invest in one of these. It'll save you a lot of time, money, patience, plus it's pretty good in drinks. So just squeeze down. You can tell pretty much totally extracted. So, gonna take some Caribbean jerk. I already had a little bit in there. Mix in some olive oil with it. Touch of lime juice. What I want to do is use this to coat my shrimp. Okay, so just toss that up. This can be done ahead of time. Say you're having an afternoon. This is something you could do and leave in the fridge. Just make sure. If you notice, I have this on ice. You want to keep shrimp, shellfish, you want to keep that iced at all times. So, take these out, put them on your grill, place them down. When you're putting them on your grill, do yourself a favor. Okay, load from the back forward. Okay, that way you're not having to reach over everything. So we put these on the grill, 2 to 3 minutes on the side. If you notice, the shrimp is translucent, okay, when it's not cooked. Once we grill it, okay, it opens up, it's translucent no more. So you want to watch for that. So, through the miracle of TV, here's our grilled shrimp. You can serve them either chilled, room temperature, or you can serve them hot. The choice is yours. I like to match that with a grilled pineapple and peach salsa. So, I go ahead and slice some pineapple, put it on the grill, both sides. It gives it a nice smoky flavor, right? So you got a core in there. You just want to cut that core out of there, right? Take the outside rind off it. Make sure you get all the eyes. Right. Peach, I sliced it, grilled it. Again, some nice flavoring. So, onions, tomatoes, cilantro, basically a pico de gallo. Okay, you can make that up yourself. You can purchase one, whatever is easy. Obviously, when you make it, it's better. Dice it all up, put it in with the lime juice and the cilantro. Let it sit. Again, this could be done the day ahead, right? So you don't have to scramble. Trying to relax and enjoy yourselves are probably the best. Anyway, I think I'm running close on time. No? Keep going? Great. I got more. So that's the Caribbean jerk shrimp. I was grilling those peaches. I can't wait until we get our local peaches. It's something about biting into a Grove Farm peach with the juice, or Sholin Farm peach, excuse me, Mayor. Nice and local, incredible flavor. Something really easy and simple to do for a quick dessert. I'm gonna apologize. These obviously are not local. They're South Carolina peaches. Still pretty good, not gonna be nice and sweet. Anyway, peaches. You might have heard the term cling peach in freestone. That's usually not the particular type of peach. It's the pit inside. If you can't get it out easily, it's a cling peach. If it pops right out for you, it's a freestone. One of those little things you wouldn't think of. You can say thank you, Bill. So what I'm going to do is go straight through. Again, you need a sharp knife. Then I like to use a melon baller or a Parisian scoop if you really want to get fancy. And just go in to get the inside out. So core it right out. See how easy that comes out? I definitely got cling. So prep all your peaches. Again, in the season, this would be simple, pops right out. And what I like to do is sugar them. Okay? Put some sugar on them, then go right onto the grill with them. Seared outside, they're still tender. The flavor is really, really incredible. It just intensifies it. And what I've done is I made a mascarpone ice cream to go with this. So I know, bring out the ice cream maker and all that, but let me give you a little trick. You can make all sorts of flavors of ice cream real easy by, you take some plain old vanilla, right? Let it temper just slightly, not totally melt. Put it in a stand mixer. Add your other ingredients. Get it incorporated, refreeze it. You're going to do all sorts of flavored ice creams. So what I did here is mascarpone, and I did some lemon zest along with it. It's a very rich, deep flavor. So to plate on that one, this is something, let's see, let's get a nice, real nice one here. Okay, so you actually have a grilled peach with mascarpone ice cream. So I hope I gave you some tidbits of information. Feel free to give us a call here at the restaurant with any questions. And I think that's our... Any other questions, Dean, coming in?
You made everybody hungry.
Okay, that's a good
Everyone's
thing.
hungry now.
That's what I hope for. So, do you want to turn it over to the finicky fork? And she's going to do some great table decorations.
Okay. Start. Like, are you filming now? Or no? Are you filming now? Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Dawn from the Finicky Fort Catering Company. Thank you all for having me here, and thank you, Bill, for your wonderful demonstration. What I'm going to do here today is just demonstrate. I don't have any amazing food like Bill has today, but I am going to show you how to prepare a table for guests, possibly outdoors, without having to go to TJ Maxx or Marshall's or any of those places and spend a ton of money. These are mostly things you'll be able to find right in your closet from home. So, that being said, I just gotta move it over. Is that okay? Yes, okay. So I'm just gonna move it over, and I have a whole bunch of goodies here to bring. So everyone has cutting boards at home, so I have a couple cutting boards with me today. Trusty old mason jars. Everyone has a closet full of mason jars, I think, right? So you get some mason jars. This is where it starts to get a little weird. So I have some toilet paper. I know, weird. Toilet paper. We have some napkins, some dinner napkins. I have a couple curtains with me, a sheet, and some books. And these are some cool books too. These are some of my favorites right here, just to let you know. A lot about crystals and hiking and fun stuff. So, here we go. So, what I'm going to do with the sheet, you have company coming, you want to set a table, and oh my gosh, I don't have like a beautiful tablecloth to put on the table. So we're just going to start with our base layer. It's a clean sheet, by the way, very clean. And we are going to use this sheet as our tablecloth. I believe this is queen size. King size might be a little too big, but a queen size sheet perfectly fits on a 6x4 table. So let's check that out. I just have to see, I'm very particular, so I just have to double check that I get this all right here. Here we are. It's that. There we go. So we have our base layer to set our table. One of the things about setting a table for a tablescape is that just like when you present food and you want to have you want to add a lot of height and a lot of dimension, you want to do that to your table as well. It makes it a little more appealing. So that's where all my cool little things come in. So I have a couple rolls of toilet paper right here. I'm gonna put them like that on the table. And grab one of my curtains I just found in there. I love checkerboard. I love this whole like buffalo plaid thing. So I have a lot of that hanging around, but this is just an old curtain that I found hanging around. I'm gonna go ahead and drape it on there. Cover up that toilet paper a little bit so no one knows it's under there. It's our little secret, right? So get that and like, I think I can go ahead and grab one of my cutting boards. I'm gonna put it up like that, right? So maybe I dig charcuterie boards, like I'm really into meats and cheeses and stuff. So I think on here would probably put some meats and cheeses, and then I'll place another one underneath it to add a little bit of dimension, a little bit more there. Let me see, I think, so here we go with the mason jars, right? Mason jars are fantastic. So we're gonna go ahead and open up a mason jar. We'll put one over there, maybe put a little fig jam in that to add to it. I can't see what this looks like from the front. So you have that. Everyone, well, not everyone. I grew up in the 80s and everyone had a Lazy Susan in the 80s, right? So we love Lazy Susans. I want to make sure I can get that nice and high, right? So I brought a couple things. This is just an old bowl I found. Again, just in my cupboard. I think I'll maybe go with the black this time. I'm gonna put a little black on here. We want to kind of hide all these things. Nobody ever knows what's under here until they open it up, until they start helping you take your table down, and then they're kind of curious. I'm going to do a little bit of this here. Look at that. I'm going to go ahead and put one. Nice cutting. So you got this sweet little spin there. I have a couple of chargers I have left over from like Thanksgiving. So maybe I'll put one here. So I'm going to grab a few of my books because I feel like it's a little too low. So I need to put a little height onto that. So I'm going to go ahead and grab those books off the bookshelf. Grab another curtain. I got to come over here and just see how this looks because I'm not quite sure here. Here we go. Always want to pull and kind of ruffle things up a little bit. Mm-hmm. There we go. There. One of the things about setting the table too and using things in your house is that, and I don't have any of these things with me, but oftentimes people will go and they'll buy lots of flowers and things like that for your table, which are beautiful. I love fresh flowers. But one of the most beautiful things to present your table with is actually the food, fresh fruit, finding jars around your house. Like this is an old vase that I had. You can fill that with like lemons and spices and adds a little bit of summer flair to it. Oranges, slice up some citrus. Do that, it'll add a lovely smell as well, the citrus scents. So you have a little bit of this. So I got my books there. Nice little wooden charger here. Oh, quarantine. Nick, he's a local photographer from Gardner. So if you haven't gone to copy, you might want to realize it was in there. Pictures of Boston. So I'm just go ahead and lower that. We'll add another one of our tables. Now we have, maybe we're gonna put our little burger sliders on here and some lettuce and tomato and pickles and all that stuff. We can grab a couple more mason jars. I always use mason jars for all the condiments because like who really wants to have like a Heinz ketchup bottle on their table? So we go ahead and put like our ketchup in there, mustard.
Dawn, I was
relish.
going to tell you, downtown
Yeah.
is a place called East Coast Liquidators at 41 Main.
Do they have mason jars?
Thousands of them.
So, okay, so let's talk about some of the opportunities I've had. We sell a ton of mason jar desserts, and that was one of the things that had a very, very low stock during the pandemic. So in like the height of the pandemic, I couldn't get mason jars anywhere, and I had a commitment of like 150 desserts, and I had no jars. I found some in Orange in a warehouse at like a Tractor Supply company. But yeah, there was no mason jars to be found. So I'm gonna go talk to my guys down at East Coast Liquidation and get me some mason jars. But these always super come in handy. So I'd have like ketchup, mayo, pickles, or relish, whatever it is in there. So I have this little wooden bowl for more condiments or whatnot. But one thing I've used in the past as well is planters, right? So you go to like Ocean State or one of those places and can get these cool planters for like $2.99, $1.99, and they have like beautiful decorations. Well, if they're sealed inside, you can use that for like dips or whatnot, put breadsticks in there, things like that. But those are also a super cool idea to use. So I have more risers to build more things. These are found in my garage. My husband's a carpenter and we have all kinds of weird things in there. I don't really know what these are, but they made it into my bag today because I needed a couple more things to put in there. Let me see what I'm going to put on that one. Oh, hold on. This is one of my favorites. So a lot of people have one of these on your coffee table. It holds your remote, your keys, your whatever. So like this is multifunctional. It's one of my favorite pieces that I have. Sometimes I use it upside down like this as a tray, and I go ahead and lay things out on it that way, always adding a little bit of height. Sometimes I use it like this to keep everything nice and secure so nothing falls out, but it's a super, super cool piece that I have. So I think on here, yeah. On here, I'd probably have something, I'm not sure what lovely item I would have on there, but I would have something lovely on there. That's it, like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, I don't know how long that took, but I wish I had all kinds of lovely food to put on here to show you just how beautiful it can actually look. But these are all things you pull out of your closet and just kind of play around, add some dimension. These vases as well. I use old milk bottles. I use different vases to hold salad dressings. All kinds of different things. But vases are your friend. You can absolutely use that. Little miniature cutting boards. The mason jar is a big one. Toilet paper is always fantastic to hide under there. Books, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, if you're having an event in short notice and you don't have time to go shop and buy all kinds of neat things, you can still set up a quick, beautiful display with things you can find in your closet. So that's it. That's kind of all. Any questions, Dean? You need a class? Dean?
No, that's...
No, you're good? Do you need any toilet paper?
I was wondering
Or is that
what you were
over?
going to do with the toilet paper.
Well,
So I think we could probably auction that off. That
I'm
looks like
telling
the
you.
good stuff. That
I'm
looks like
telling
the
you.
good stuff.
we didn't get to use that like in the middle of the year. We weren't able to find any, but yeah, so that's kind of what I have. You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, this concludes our event. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for continuing to inspire us to work with and for our members at Beacon of Hope who experience life with developmental and intellectual disabilities. On behalf of everyone at Beacon of Hope, I wish you a summer filled with laughter, friendship, and good food. God bless and good night.
We had one question that just came in.
Oh, one question before we
For
end.
Dawn. So when you put out the food items, sometimes people aren't sure exactly what they are, and so do you label them? Is it a good idea to put a label on everything?
So definitely if there's allergens in there, because there's a lot of different people with different allergies. So if you have something that in the top 8 allergens, you would definitely want to label that. It all depends on the size of your event. So when we host events, that would be like a request from our client if everything is labeled or not. But it's definitely a good idea to have labeling whenever you have something with nuts in it, you have something with shellfish. And those you can go down to the craft store. We use a lot of the chalkboard, the little mini chalkboards, little tents and stuff to describe what is in everything. So that's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Dawn.
You're welcome.
Thank you and good night.